had been the capital of Korea for more than 600 years. People started living on the peninsula, on the Korean peninsula, since 7000 BC. And the first country, well, the first dynasty, which is the Joseon dynasty, we put the Ko Joseon dynasty to differentiate with the second Joseon dynasty we had since 1392. Joseon or Joseon was built by Dangun, and since then there was a city here, and people lived there since then. Before it was called different names. Widaesong was one. Nam Pyongyang, which means a southern Pyongyang. This is kind of scary to think about North Korea. That was one. Bukhansan was one. Bukhangang was one. When was it called Seoul? It was called Seoul since 1953. But Seoul itself means the capital. So, for example, the Seoul of Japan is Tokyo. Do you get? So, for example, Kaesong means open castle, Kae meaning open, Song meaning fortress. But Seoul itself is a pure Korean word. Okay? So Seoul, Shobu, or depends on which pronunciation you're going to take, had been a Korean word, and it had been the capital of Joseon since 1392. Then it was called Hansong or Hanyang, Hankyong, and then it changed its name to Seoul since 1953. Bukhansan Fortress is 18.2 kilometers long and made out of granite, which we have plenty in the Korean peninsula. And it covers the whole of Korea except 400 meter section, which is around Inwangsan, which is a natural stone anyway, so you don't need like additional fortress to cover it up. The 18.2 kilometers are divided into 108 meters, 97 sections, and each section was given to specific villages all around the country, and they inscribed the name of where the villages came from and who was in charge. So when the section of the fortress breaks down, we know exactly who to blame. So when we go along, I'm going to be showing you the names. To be honest, I can't really read much Chinese, but I'm going to show you that those are the names, saying that it was built on which period and by whom and by, when, and etc. and etc. Okay, as I said before, on the fortress there are 4 huge gates and 4 small gates between each of the big gates. This is the north big gate. Its name is Sukjeongmun, and it means silent rain. Silent rain, silent ruling. No, not rain. No, raining over the people. Yes, that's true. Sukjeongmun, the north, is the yin, is the wetness, is the female, is the bad. So what happens is that they actually had this huge gate, but they never really used it for trespassing. The only time when they did open it was when we had a drought, so we need the wetness to come inside. So they shut the Sungremun, which is the Namdaemun, as I said before. Is the male, is the good, is the dryness, is the fire. So we shut that down instead. We usually do have people coming in from Namdaemun or Sungremun, but we would open this just for the symbolic reason for having the moisture inside. The other reason they kept this very shut is because it's the yin, it's the female forces. So if we let the female forces in, the woman inside Seoul is going to be sexually provocative. And that is a definite no-no in a Confucius country, and that's what happened. Korea is a Confucius country, as I said before, a neo-Confucian country. It's the only country that was overthrown by a coup d'etat of the Confucius forces, because if you think Confucianism is something like very quiet and justice and loyalty, but it happened in a bloodshed only once, and that was in Korea. There are 5 virtues to be kept as a Confucius man, and they are in, 의, 예, 지, and shin. In meaning humanity, 예 meaning righteousness, good manners, in, 의, meaning justice, ji meaning knowledge, and shin meaning belief. And when we were making the four huge gates, the man who planned all this was a PM called Jung Do-jeon, and he wanted to make sure that the people inside Seoul would follow those virtues. For example, so we have Sung Rye-mun, it's got a Rye inside. Hung-in Jimun, which is the eastern gate. It's got an in inside. I have to see this as I go along. Sorry. Hung-in Jimun in. Don-Uimun, which is the west. It means rule in justice. Hung-in-mun, meaning rising benevolence. Sung-ye-mun, meaning gate of exalted ceremonies. And Suk-jong-mun, as you see here, which is silent rain. But the Japanese forces came over and they thought, oh well, we don't really care about, silent rain and, our justice, we don't care anymore. Let's just say north, south, east, and west. And it stuck with us, which is pretty sad, because that's not really ours, that's a derogatory form. It's pretty ridiculous to think that Koreans are using the derogatory form that was used by the Japanese. Well, they say in ui yeji shin. Where is the shin? Does anyone have any idea? The fifth? In the middle, alright. Can you think about any building that has a shin inside? Shin? No? All right. In the Jongno intersection, there is a large bell, and the house that houses is called Go Shingak. Very good. The wide loyalty. So whenever they gong the bell, the good loyalty can spread through like the sound.
Because I tried to come up here once and I couldn't go on. It must have been at the beginning of 2007 and everything was still closed here. Now this is the first time I'm up here.
Okay.
It's an excellent tour. I haven't expected to be able to have those nice scenic viewpoints from here, and the history which is behind is amazing. We came up here because it's a great tour for 3 hours here around Seoul, and we get good explanation, which is typically hard for a foreigner to get when you go into a normal museum. And since we knew our tour guide, we knew we couldn't go wrong with this tour.
It's very colorful and very interesting and very physical. You have to be in good shape to do this.
Okay, I'm going to be explaining about chotte bawi. Chotte in Korea means candle, bawi means rock. As you see right here, we see a tip of a rock. And actually, we're just seeing a tip of it, but the actual length is 13 meters. But that's not what we're supposed to look. We're supposed to look at the little cement mold we see at the very top. During the Japanese invasion, a lot of things that we were supposed to do and we should not do. We could not use Korean characters, even in our households, even in schools. We were supposed to change our Korean names to Japanese names. Many men were taken away for slavery and then killed because of the security reasons. Many women were taken as sexual slavery women, as so-called comfort women, which I'm not really familiar with the terminology with. One of the things, Koreans deeply believe in geomancy, in the flow of energy, that a human belly button is where the chi comes from, so you should take good care of it. You should take good care of the mountains and the mountain range, because that's where the flow of the chi goes. So everything is very holy and sacred. And there are certain spots where they believe is where the source of the chi is. And that is one of them. So what the Japanese did is that they put metal pikes as long as 60 meters in places that they thought that the chi originates. Do they believe in the geomancy or what the Koreans believe as well? I don't know, but I personally believe it's kind of demoralizing. We have those metal pikes all over Korea, nearly every single mountains that we have. In Korea, we call the range of mountains 백두대간, which means we have 100 mountains as a spine that works as a flow of chi. Nearly, we can say that every single of the mountains have a spike inside. We've got them in palaces, we've got them in all holy areas, all the shamanistic shrines, we have that spike inside. And we have awful pictures of them putting the spike inside and they're all happy and then they're doing their Shinto praying and they're celebrating because the Korean chi is gone. Well, these days, since the Japanese invasion ended, we are pulling those chis, the metal pegs out, and then we're putting cement over it to, heal it is our way of healing. It's like putting a balm on it to want it to heal faster. And we just put a little memorial thing to remember what happened before, and that is one of them. Changrimun, showing righteousness gate, or the west-east gate. It's also known as Chahamun, which means the purple mist gate. It's the nickname, and I think the nickname is much more beautiful. I don't have a lot to say about this gate, but since it's the yin force, it's the negative, it's the woman, it was also kept shut, and there was a pine forest built right in front of it, so just to make sure that no one goes in and out. I don't have much to say about this, but notice the lotus bowls that is located on the left and right side of the tunnel. And at the very top, you can see two phoenixes. Now, why is it a phoenix? It's because the mountain range looks like a centipede, and the yin-yang says if you put a natural enemy on top of the bridge, it's going to keep the forces very tense, just like the yin and yang, you know, negative and the positive, but they all work together in harmony as one. Okay? The 8 gates that I talked about, the 4 large gates and the 4 small gates, minus the Sungyemun, which burned down this February, this and the Sukjeongmun that we saw, and Hungin-jimun is the only 3 gates surviving the Joseon dynasty and the Korean War, the Imjin War, and God knows what else.
It was great, many stairs, but really great view and very interesting history. So I enjoyed it. Very tired, but very good.
I had a very good time. Very interesting, great tour. I was very happy to see the mountain, and it's very beautiful. The view was fantastic.
How about feel?
Felt very relaxing to get out of the city and just into the countryside, and the view was very beautiful, so yeah, very nice.